Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and in today's video I'm going to show you how to crochet this cardigan, and I hope it helps you a lot. So let's get started. So for this tutorial you're gonna need a measuring tape, a 5mm crochet hook, a darning needle, a pair of scissors, a yarn of any color. I will mention the amount of that you would require because I'm not very sure right now, and a chocolate to support you emotionally. So I'm gonna use two of the yarn together because my actual yarn is pretty thin and I don't believe that it will give me more fluffy or more oversized look. So I'm gonna use two of the yarns together, and so yeah, let's get started. Okay, so we're gonna start up by making our foundation chains, but instead of the foundation chains it's going to be foundation double treble crochets. So for that I'm gonna first make a slip knot. This is how I make a slip knot, and then I'm gonna chain 5. This one's 1 2 3 4 and 5, and then I'm gonna yarn over twice for the double treble crochet, and then I also want my chains to keep increasing in length as well. So I'm gonna insert my hook into the last stitch, which is also the first chain, and then yarn over, and you're gonna pull through only one loop. You're gonna have 4 loops, and then yarn over and pull through 2 loops, and yarn over, pull through 2 loops, lastly yarn over and pull through 2 loops. So we just made a double triple crochet and also increased the length of our front. And then yarn over twice again, insert your hook into the chain that you made to increase it. So it's going to be this one. It's not this one, but rather this loop that will be getting up a bit outer. So we insert our hook into that stitch, and then yarn over and pull through, and you're gonna yarn over and pull through 1 loop. Just keep your thumb over that loop that you just made, and this will help you remember which loop to insert your hook for the next one. And then yarn over and pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and yarn over, pull through 2 loops. So I've just made 2 of the double treble crochets, and then again yarn over and yarn over twice. Now insert your hook into that other chain of the bottom. So also this one where your hook is going to be, that side is going to be your front side, let's say, and this side is going to be the back side, or let's say the down side. So yarn over twice and insert your hook into the down side, and then you're gonna yarn over and pull through 1 loop for the chain, and then just make the double triple crochet as you would, which is yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over and pull through 2 loops, and then yarn over and pull through 2 loops. So you see that I'm just gonna be doing this to increase my length, and I'm gonna make 40 double triple crochets in this row. So we'll do that once again together. So yarn over twice, insert your hook into the next stitch. Sometimes it could be confusing on where to insert your hook, but you just gotta keep the pace of that, and then yarn over and pull through 1, then later yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2, and finally yarn over and pull through 2. So that is what you are just gonna do, and you will get the length of your cardigan for the front panels. after making up 40 double treble crochet, I forgot to mention that this 5 chains also count as a chain. So now if I count, then it's 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 15, 16, 18, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. So this one is an extra chain. Okay, and after making 40 double treble crochets, I'm just gonna give you a rough measurement for the front panel. It's going to be around 36, but when we crochet more rows onto it, it's gonna go on to 37 or so, I believe, because it kind of gets stretched up. So yeah, if you get your height to be around 35 in this row, that's also fine, because this row just is gonna get increased later on when we crochet more rows onto it. So after making up 40 double treble crochets, you're gonna turn your work, and then what we would normally do is that we would do chains, right? But now I'm gonna use a bit different method, and I'm gonna go into this chain, this stitch, which is the top stitch of the 40 double treble crochet. So go into that stitch, yarn over, and then you're gonna make a single crochet. Now once you have that, you know that you have 2 loops. I would use a needle for that. So this is the first stitch, or I don't know, first V, and then this is the second one, right? So we're only gonna insert our hook into the second one, and then yarn over, and again you're gonna make a single crochet, and you're gonna do this for 2 more times. So that is how I have increased my row from single crochets. And now we would normally make double treble crochets, which is yarning over twice, inserting our hook into the next stitch, yarn over, and then yarn over and pull through 2 loops, yarn over and pull through 2 loops, and yarn over and pull through 2 loops. We're going to continue making these, and then these are just going to be like this. So I'll meet you once I finish making up to this, and then I'm just gonna meet you so that it becomes more clear. Okay, so this is going to be my last stitch, which is going to be into the top of the fifth stitch. So you gotta be sure and not miss the last stitch. If you're also not sure, you can pretty much count your stitches and also include the stitch that we made by making single crochets. So our 40th stitch is going to be into this stitch. So you're going to insert your hook into that, and then just make a double treble crochet like that, and then you're going to see that you're going to have a straight seamless chain. So yeah, that is what we are going to be doing. And then just turn your work and insert your hook into the next stitch, make a single crochet, and then into the second loop, and repeat that for 2 times more. And then make double treble crochets. So this is going to be pretty much the structure of our cardigan or sweater. Right now we are working up with the front panel. So as I have shown you how to make the base, and now we're just going to continue making that for 29 rows in total, and then we're going to decrease them to get this structure. So I'll meet you once I make 29 rows in total for the front panel. So this is what 29 rows of double treble crochet looks like, and this measures about 60 to 61 centimeters. And now we're going to decrease our stitches. After making up 29 rows straight with the double treble crochets, now it's time to finally decrease the stitches to get the shape of our front panel. So now you're going to turn your work as you would do, and for this round now insert your hook into the first stitch, and from there yarn over and go straight into the next stitch and yarn over and pull through the 3 loops. So that is a 1 decrease stitch, and we are now going to stack 3 stitches on top of it, just like we would be doing normally. And after that you're going to continue crocheting double treble crochets until you reach the last 2 stitches, and then we'll make a decrease over there as well. Now once you're left with 2 stitches at the end, you're just going to yarn over and make the double treble crochet, but when you're left with 2 stitches, you're going to yarn over twice again and insert your hook into the next stitch, which is the last stitch, and then yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over and pull through 2 loops. When you're left with 3 stitches, you're going to yarn over and pull through the 3 stitches. So that is just we would be doing for the next 2 rounds. So I'll do it for once again. You're going to insert your hook and then again into the other stitch and then yarn over. We made a decrease, and then into the 3rd loop only we're going to insert our stitch, and from there yarn over and we're going to make a single crochet and then 2 single crochets on top of it. So in total we have 4 single crochets on top of each other. And then be sure to not insert your hook into this stitch, because this stitch is the decrease stitch that you just made. So we are going to insert our stitch into the next stitch. So that is something that you should be aware of, because if you won't be aware of it, then you might end up making something else. And now I'm just going to make double treble crochets until I reach the end of the 2 stitches, the end of the round, where I'm left with 2 stitches, and from there I'm going to make a decrease as well, and I will repeat this for the other round as well. Now for the next round we are going to make 2 decreases at the beginning and 2 decreases at the end. The next decrease is going to be into this stitch and not this one. When you're left with 2 stitches, again yarn over twice and go into the next stitch. Then when you're left with 3 stitches, you're going to yarn over and pull through all those 3 loops. That is how we make 2 decreases. And now I'm going to make double treble crochets until I reach end of the stitch, end of the row, and then I'm going to make 2 decreases over here as well. And now we're going to make the decrease stitches. So I should be left with 4 stitches to make 2 decreases. And I would just normally make a double treble crochet until I'm left with 2 stitches, and then I'm going to yarn over twice and insert my hook into the next stitch, yarn over and pull through 2 loops, yarn over and pull through 2 loops. When I will be left with 3 stitches, I'm going to yarn over and pull through all of those stitches, and then the same will be done into these these 2 stitches. And now for the next round, I'm going to make 3 decreases at the beginning and 3 decreases at the end. Now I'm going to stack over them. 1, wait, I highly suggest you to use an even tension just so your stitches look all neat and tight. Now this is going to be my second decrease. And now the third decrease. Now I will be making all double treble crochet normally and then 3 decreases at the end. And now I'm going to make the decrease stitches. So notice how I keep 6 stitches like this so I can make 3 decreases. So here we make the decrease. Yarn over twice, insert your hook into the first stitch, yarn over, you're going to have 4 stitches, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2, again yarn over and then insert your hook into the next stitch, yarn over and then yarn over and pull through 2 loops, yarn over and pull through 2 loops. You're going to have 3 loops, so yarn over and pull through all those 3 loops. Now here we make the second decrease stitch. Now here I go for the last decrease stitch. And the next row is going to be the same as this row. We are going to make 3 decreases at the beginning and 3 decreases at the end. Now for the next round, we are going to make 3 decreases at the beginning only. And then we are just going to crochet double treble crochets normally without any increases at the end. Now once you're done with it, you're gonna leave. First you're gonna chain 1 to secure and leave a bit longer tail because we also want to sew the parts together. And then just pull through. Okay, and then I forgot to mention that this stitch right here, which is also the single crochet decrease that we made, you have to mark the stitch because this area is going to be our chest area and then this is going to be the shoulder area. So yeah, just go on and mark this stitch right here with a stitch marker or any other object or any other bobby pin or another color of yarn. Anything would be just fine. This is where we have reached so far, and yes, the front panels are going to be really wider than you might have imagined them to be, but it's completely fine. Also, I have made another one in the same way, so go ahead and make yours as well. The back panel is also going to be made using the same method. You have to make 1 double treble crochet into each row, and also for this one you're going to start with 73 double crochets initially. So here I'm going to show you how you are going to crochet the back panel. So this is, let's say, our back panel, and I am going to make, so this is our back panel, and I would be making 29 rows of double treble crochet into each stitch for up to this length, or and then it could be your wish on how many rows you want yours to be. I would be keeping 29 rows, and if you want to make it as a longer, if you want your length to be longer, then you need to increase these, or if you want your length to be less longer, then you need to be making this less, because the other that are going to be plus 7 rows of double treble crochet also, these are going to be the decrease rows, so we are not gonna change anything into these. So you're only gonna make increases or decreases of rows into these rows if you want to, and if you want to keep same as mine, then it's only going to be 29 rows of double treble crochet for you as well. And then these are going to be the 7 rows of double treble crochets. And these 7 rows of double treble crochets are going to be the same as we did for the front panels. So if you are not sure on how to do these decreased rows, I'm going to put the text on the screen so you can just follow that. And then your length is going to be 75 centimeters and 64 centimeter in width. Now for the sleeves, you're going to start with a slip knot. And then chain 11 or more if you want your cuffs to be longer. After that, you're going to skip one stitch and into the next stitch make a slip stitch. And make slip stitches all the way to the end. And then you're going to chain one, turn your work and insert your hook into the back loop only, and make a slip stitch. So we are just going to make slip stitch into the back stitch. So I have made 18 of these ridges. If I count it for you, then this is 1, 2, this one's 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, and 18th. And this measures about 18 centimeters. So now after that, you're going to fold them into half like this, and then, okay, maybe like this. And then insert your hook into the first stitch, and grab this loop and pull it tight, and then pull through. And then go into the next loop or the next stitch and go into the back loop in the next stitch, yarn over, and then pull through and make a slip stitch. We'll do that for once more. Into the next stitch, in the back loop of the other stitch, yarn over, and then pull through. So we are just going to do this, and we would be able to get a seamless closed up cuff or the ribbon. So after making up all of the connection slip stitch, you are going to turn it up and then you're going to see that in this side you're having seamless join, so we are going to be using this side as our correct side and this one as the wrong side. That is how it fits me. And now you're going to insert your hook into that loop and chain 4. Now this chain 4 also counts as a double treble crochet, so this is our first double treble crochet, and then into the next stitch we're going to be making a double treble crochet. So our next double treble crochet is going to be on top of this ridge. So on top of this, insert your hook somewhere between the center of it. This might take a bit while to figure out where you want to insert your hook, but once you get it, it's really easy. And then we're just going to make double treble crochet. Like that. And then our next stitch is going to be in between the ridges. So we are going to continue making like that until we reach the end of this row. Now here I make my last stitch of double treble crochet. I feel it's too close to the other stitch, so I'm gonna make it into this stitch. And then we're gonna make a slip stitch into the top of the fourth chain. So this is 1, 2, 3 and 4th. And then into this we make a slip stitch. So that is how we have made this to be. We are going to chain 4 and make 1 double treble crochet and then an increase. So this counts as one double treble crochet, and now I'm going to make an increase in the next stitch. So I'm just going to repeat this, make one double treble crochet and then one double treble crochet increase for this round. So it's just going to be like this for this row, and then for the third row I am just going to make one double treble crochet into each stitch, and I'm going to repeat 13 rows up. So here I've made 17 rows with one double treble crochet into each stitch, and this is how it looks like. And also excluding these two rows, it's 17 double treble crochets all the way till here, and if I'm including them then it's 19. So the measurement for the sleeve is about 38 centimeter, and if I count the ridge then it's 43, and the width is from the center 22 centimeters. And also if you want then you can steam block your work using those irons, because I am gonna do that. So if you want then you can also do that. If you prefer more flowy look then you may do that, but it's also your wish. Either way it's fine. And now we're going to see how to assemble our two panels together from the top first. And so to do that, you're going to first place your back panel and your front panel side to side on each other, and then this side is going to be the side for your sleeves. So this one is going to be your neck area, and also remember that this mark has to be onto the opposite side from the sleeve, because then only we may be able to get the V sort of shape from the front side of our sweater or cardigan. Okay, and then you're going to count your stitches. So for me it would be 1, 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 and 16. So for me it's going to be 16 in this one, and I'm also going to count 16 over here. Once you count 16 stitches, you're going to remove this one, this stitch marker, and then we're just going to attach this, and then we're just going to attach the stitch marker to the 16th stitch on both of the panels. 9, and now we're going to start to assemble the two panels together. You're going to place your yarn into the needle, and then we're going to start off by assembling from the sleeve side. I'm going to insert my hook into one loop only, and that loop is going to be the front loop, and then I'm just going to make it like this into the front loops, into the back loop of the front panel, and into the front loop of the other panel. You can use any stitching method that is easier for you, but I will prefer this method. This would provide us with a seamless stitch, so it would be easier to not navigate where the stitch has been made. This is how it is going to look like, and now we're gonna attach the sleeve over here. To attach the sleeve, you would need to first count the stitches that you have in total, and then half the stitches is what you're going to stitch over one part. So this is my half part, and now I would be stitching it like this. So it's going to be half the sleeve that would be stitched to one part of the panel. And to stitch, I'm going to first start by inserting my stitch into the sleeve and then into the panel. And I'm going to do this all the way for the sleeve. These stitching steps might look like a lot to do, but it's actually not really that big deal. It's kind of a different part from all the way crocheting, so you just need to chill for this part and just relax and let your hands do the work. So it's actually then going to be easy for you. Once you're done making all the stitches with the back panel only, now you're going to make all the stitches with the other half of the sleeve to the front panel. Before sewing the other part of the sleeve with the front panel, you're gonna need to count the number of rows that you have used to stitch the half part of the sleeve, because you're also going to use that exact number of rows to stitch the other half of the sleeve. If you feel that the sleeve stitches hole are more bigger than the front panel's holes, then you can make two stitches together using the one big hole of the sleeve with one small hole of the front panel. Because our main goal is to be able to make the stitches even and to not be making it look like but not neater. Once you finish making all of the stitches, you're going to tie some good knots and then weave in the ends and just cut off. Now to join the sides of our sweater, I'm first going to get a yarn and then I'm going to insert it into my needle, and then I'm going to go into the very corners right into the sleeves, right with the sleeve. So I'm going to go and make this cornered stitch more perfect so that it does not look like very loosened when I'm fully done with my sweater. So we're going to first insert our yarn into the very corner of the sides and then make a knot to secure the yarn. And then just get into one single stitch of the other side. Continue with the same side but with the next stitch of it and go into the other stitch of the same panel. And then consecutively into the second panel. Once you go into the second panel, you're going to go into the second stitch of the same panel. This is a different type of stitch that I'm going to be using to connect my two sides of the panels together. If you feel that this stitch is a bit harder, then you can try your own stitches with the one that you are familiar with. If you are not sure which is the front loop and which is the back loop, then I'm just gonna try to show it up a bit. So this is my next loop. So, and then you're gonna see that there's a V sort of structure, which is like this and then like this. So what I'm gonna do is that consider this as my back loop and then this one as my front loop. So for this panel, which is the front panel, I'm only going to insert into the back loop, so only into this loop, and then I'm gonna pull the yarn, and then into the other panel I'm going to insert my yarn only into the front loop. So front loop is going to be that, if I am to show it to you, then it's like this, where this is the back loop and this one is the front loop. So I'm only going to insert my hook into the front loop, so it's going to be this loop, and then just pull through. And then you're going to look onto like this. So what you're going to do is just tighten it up a bit more, and then you are going to get these stitched very neatly. So now I'm going to meet you once I do all of it together. And I think I should also show it once more, the front loop and the back loop. So and also in some points of the rows of the double crochets, you are not going to have two loops. So in that case, you can just insert your hook into whatever loop you see and then just continue your work. But it does not mean that it has to be for all the stitches. It's only going to be for a few of them, so that does not really matter. So now I'm going to insert my hook into the front loop. So this is the two loops, where this is the back one and this one's the front. So my aim is to only insert into the front loop, and then into the other side I am going to insert my needle into the back loop. So it's going to be, this is the front loop and then this is going to be the back loop. See, these are the two stitches, where this one is the front loop and this is the back loop. So my aim would be only to insert in the back loop, and then here we go. And this is what I will be doing for the whole of this round. This is how your sweater is going to look like so far. And yes, the neckline is not really aligned, and also the cardigan from the back side may feel like it's going to the upside, but
don't worry because this all is going to be fixed when we add the ribbing. And now we're gonna look on how to add the ribbing to our sweater. Now let's make the ribbing of our cardigan. So for the ribbing, I'm going to start with the right panel and the bottom of the right panel. Here I have made a knot at the very bottom of the right panel, and then I'm also going to be using 4.5mm crochet hook, which is 0.5 less than the one I've used to make the whole cardigan. We're going to start by chaining 6. And then we skip a stitch and make 5 slip stitch into each chain. And also we are going to consider that we have 4 stitches for one row, so it's going to be like 4 stitches per row, which means that this one row has 4 stitches in which I have to work, and then for the next stitch there is also 4 stitches. So in total for two rows it would be 8 stitches, and so on. So I have worked in one of the stitch already, and now I'm going to make a slip stitch into the next stitch for the row. And then make another slip stitch into the third stitch. After that, turn your work and you're going to count and check the third stitch. So this is the first one. Wait. So we see that this one is the first stitch, this is the second, and then this one is the third stitch. Into the third stitch we make a slip stitch, and also into the back loop only. So you're going to make 5 slip stitch into the back loop only. So you're going to have like this ribbing, and then you're going to chain 1, turn your work, and make 5 slip stitch into the back loop only. Also remember to skip the chain that you just made.
बस कर।
Once you make 5 slip stitch, you're going to connect the ribbon to the panel by making a slip stitch into the main front panel. So this one is going to be the last, not this one, it's going to be this one. A slip stitch. So that is what just we are going to do. And now I make a slip stitch into the other stitch, which is also the first stitch for the second row. This would be the first, second, third, and then fourth. And then we would continue like this. So I'm going to make this all the way to the up and then all the way till I reach the other panel of the cardigan. Now I'm going to show you how to embroider the heart onto your cardigan. So for this I will be using a plush yarn. It's your choice if you want to use a plush yarn, or you could also use a thin yarn. That will also look good. So we're gonna go into the area where we want to make the heart from the inside of the cardigan, and then you're gonna take a good length of the yarn out of the cardigan. Now you want to pay attention to this part, is that you're going to need to insert your needle into the top of the second double treble crochet row from the plush yarn that you inserted. Also in an horizontal way, so you get the heart shaped of structure. Don't pull the yarn too tight, because that would not be looking better. Then I would again insert my needle into the same stitch that I previously stitched the heart's half part. I'm just gonna make it again because I feel it kind of messed up. And there I got the second one. I'm also gonna get the third one. And for the third one, if you want, you can just make it from the center of the two previously made. So we have made the half of the heart, and now to make the other half of the heart, you're gonna also make it in an horizontal way and in a sense skip 2 double treble crochet stitches, and then into the third one you could be making your heart's other half. And also in the same way you're gonna go into the stitch and then repeat it consecutively for 3 times. And then once you're done, just insert your hook into the closest stitch that you see, but not into the same one. And then, because we want to keep that extra yarn into the sweater, so that you can tie a knot from the inside. So that is how you're going to embroider the heart, and I'm going to do this for a few areas and then I'll meet you once I'm done with it. So there we have it, a cardigan with a bit longer length and hearts. So that concludes my cardigan. I hope you liked watching the video, and if you did like this tutorial, then I would highly suggest for you to subscribe so you don't miss out future videos. Anyways, then meet you in the next video. Bye.